Hey everybody, and welcome to another Joker's Wild Side Corner. I am Lobo,
I'm Jax.
and today we got quite a bit of news with the and NFC championships happened this week. The Super Bowl is announced, and we got the Royal Rumble review. But before we do, how you doing? How was your weekend, man?
Um, so it was pretty great. I got 2 days off. Last week I only got 1 day off, so it was nice to have a little bit more time off. Did some cleaning. We did videos and whatnot, so it definitely took care of my nights.
Yeah, there we go. We did do the live stream as well. That was pretty good fun with Paco here.
Oh yeah, dude. Last night I was antsy, couldn't get to bed after watching the 49ers game.
Oh, dude.
And
we're definitely gonna talk about that.
oh yeah, I ended up speed running Halo, the Halo 3
Gotcha.
in like 2 hours. That was fun.
Oh, you ran through it.
The entire campaign on easy in like 2 hours.
Nice.
So it was fun. I like doing that whenever I have nothing else to do. It's just a quick speed run.
Oh yeah.
Try and put me to sleep. Didn't work, but
sometimes it's just you can't. Your brain's too active.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's get into it. You just started it off, but before we get to the 49er game, let's talk about the AFC Championship game that was before that game. The Chiefs versus the Ravens. The Chiefs upset the Ravens big time, 17-10. Your thoughts on this? Let's go straight with your thoughts.
My thoughts. This is what I feel. What happened? Ravens. They were too pressured, and they were letting their emotions get to them. They were getting flags after flags after flags. They were trying to do too much stuff. At one point in time, I saw somebody literally just palm Patrick Mahomes' face, and it looked like
they were playing a little reckless.
Yeah, the Ravens were playing reckless and with emotion, and they didn't care what it took to try and win the Chiefs, and it was part of their downfall.
Yeah, it's just they weren't playing their type of football, and like you said, that probably caused them their downfall as they were going away from who they are naturally. They're very physical, but them trying to be extremely physical to the point where it gets violent and they lose control is, like you said, it's probably caused them their undoing. But kudos to the Chiefs, they had a great defensive plan for Jackson or Lamar Jackson. Jesus, I mixed two people there. Lamar Jackson. The thing is, also Lamar was not playing like he plays normally. There was some plays, for instance, they were spiking the ball or hiking the ball. Sorry, the receivers would run and the defensemen would turn all the way around and not even look at Lamar Jackson. Which usually that's a perfect sign to take off because they're not even looking at you.
Yeah.
By the time they do, you're 5-10 yards down the field. So that's where Jackson should have capitalized, and he missed out on a few opportunities there to get big plays.
I will say one of the best moments in the season was Lamar Jackson throwing himself a 13-yard pass.
That was funny. As I see it deflected, that was right after one of the turnovers.
Yeah.
I see them throw it. I'm like, oh, and they tip it. I'm like, oh, here we go, another turnover.
It's gonna go right back to him.
To the Chiefs, right? No, he runs underneath it, picks it up, and picks up 13. Great play. I think only a handful of quarterback has passes to themselves.
That was pretty epic. I really enjoyed watching specifically that play.
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, unfortunately, the Ravens could not get going all game. They did fall to the Chiefs, and for all you out there that do not like the Chiefs, unfortunately, they're back in the Super Bowl. Now, let's go on to what I think was the better game overall. The Lions versus the 49ers at San Francisco. This is really a tale of one half and one quarter of disappointment. The first half was all Lions. They were up by 17 by halftime, and then the Lions the third quarter they played extremely bad to the point where by the end of it, they were tied. It was
In 8 minutes, San Francisco had caught up to them like that.
yeah.
With actually it was an 18 point, or no, it was 17 points spread.
Yeah.
I goofed. Man, I had two 49er fans that I was talking to about this, and I was like, just wait, it's only the halftime. Like, it was a 17-point spread before halftime, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, my brain's just going away. The other person was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to sleep because they're sucking so bad." And
we're not talking about Cardinals, right?
No. Somebody on my ship.
Oh, okay, cool. Yusuf?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I figured.
Dude, he said that he was at the game and stuff like that, and I was just like, a bottle of whiskey, they turned it around in the second.
Oh, I was pretty sure because you mentioned me. You're like, what the hell is going on with the Niners?
Yeah.
Um,
Seemed like they were just trying to figure out the Lions first, and then once they figured out the Lions, they surgically destroyed them.
Dude, at halftime, I was like, oh, the Lions might run away with this. The Lions might end up being in the Super Bowl after 30 years of not being in the playoffs. And then the Lions do what Lions have done. But I think it's not really that. It's more of the 49ers woke up and everything was bouncing the Lions' way in the first half. This third quarter went all the opposite way. And the momentum just shift 100% to the 49ers. Ooh, and unfortunately, some play calls from their head coach are questionable, but he's been coaching like that all year. Very
some of his plays, the Lions coach did play off really well. I think a big part of it was in the success of their takeaway in the first two quarters. And then they said that they were going to play on a 4th and like 4 or something like that. And I was just like, that's a bad decision. And what do you know? They tried making it through, pass, incomplete, crap for Lions.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he's coached all year, though. No, exactly. He didn't do anything wrong. This is how he's been coaching all year.
Good call. He did excellent with what he had. He made something out of nothing on several occasions.
Exactly, Lord. The 49ers woke up in the third quarter, and everything that was going good for the Lions in the first half completely switched the momentum to the 49ers side. And unfortunately, the Lions fall to the 49ers 34-31. I think there was 2 field goals that he could have gone for to give for the Lions in the red zone that could have probably gotten the win. But this is how he's been all year, coaching very aggressive. 4th and short, he goes for it no matter where it's at, pretty much.
As even the announcers were saying, they said every possession has to be aggressive and go for a touchdown. And I understand why, with that mentality like that, it got him to the playoffs. It got him to NFC
NFC championship. Exactly. Yes, we already mentioned that Lamar did not play like he normally does. He definitely had some chances to take some big runs when the defenders would go up to cover receivers and turn their back on him. But unfortunately, embarrassing for the MVP. I don't think he's winning after this performance. But they might have already voted, to be honest with you. To me, I don't think he's my vote regardless. That we will be doing a separate video on that on the NFL Honor Awards.
Should come out Wednesday for y'all.
Yeah, Wednesday we'll have that for you. This is just our choices for that. CMC, I think he's more of the offensive player of the year, to be honest with you. As he did carry a lot of that, but Brock Purdy, or Brock Purdy also helped.
Brock Purdy did pretty freaking good.
So I will not say who I am voting for MVP, because one, then you won't want to watch the other video.
Yeah.
But 2, it's not who everybody thinks. Let's leave it at that. Okay. But join us on Wednesday. We will be dropping that video for you guys. Also, that came out of this weekend, unfortunately, Chiefs did lose their defensive end, Charles Omenihu, as he tore his ACL in the Ravens game. He will not be playing in the Super Bowl. Already announced. Unfortunately for them, but good for the 49ers, so I kind of am rooting for them.
I'm definitely rooting for the 49ers, but my pick for the Super Bowl is going to be announced at a later date.
Yeah, as there's a lot of things that could change with with this being a 2-week break before the Super Bowl. If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, then the MVP will be Brock. I agree. I agree with you there. Okay, definitely. So now with those games over, the Super Bowl has been determined. It will be Kansas City Chiefs with Taylor Swift in the fucking stands, most likely, versus the 49ers. This is a rematch of 4 or 5 years ago Super Bowl, the first one that Kansas City won in this decade. It'll be February 11th, 2 weeks from now. As of now, the 49ers are slightly favored. I think it was 2.5 points down to 1 point this afternoon.
I will take a peek while you continue.
Awesome. Also, you're still down to live stream it.
As it sits right now, I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear with nothing to do.
Perfect. I already got the day off, so I will be.
Oh, you're off now.
I was not. Yeah, no, I got it off.
All right. I'll probably still end up working, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, that gives me time to set up here. Also, Lord Atomic, if you want to come and watch it here with us, so you could join us on a live stream, you're more than welcome to.
I'm in the wrong page for this.
Yeah, whoever won from the Lions 49ers, I think I would have been rooting for. Although I would have not been upset if the Ravens would have won the Super Bowl. Especially the way they played this year.
Yeah, I would have been, no matter which way, rooting for 49ers.
You think so?
Even if it was Ravens, as Ravens... Ravens weren't my favorite. I was expecting everything 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I believed in the 49ers, so we'll see how it goes.
Definitely.
I'm definitely rooting for them. Let's go team.
Exactly. Also, there's some rumors, now moving on from the Super Bowl now to regular football. There's rumors that Cleveland Browns are trying to hire ex-Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey to be their offensive coordinator. Something for you, Lord, to see. What are your thoughts on that? And what do you think is would that be good or bad for the Cleveland Browns?
The spread is 2.5.
Okay, so it's still 2.5 for the.
Sorry, what was the question?
So the question is that the Browns are looking to hire ex-Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey to be their offensive coordinator.
Oh, they did
hire him. Okay, so this was written earlier or late last night. So now that it's official, they hired him. What are your thoughts on that? How about you, Lord?
I definitely think that it could improve the Browns. They were playing pretty freaking good. Defensively, they were smacking it out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
at least at home.
Yes, at least at home. And now if they get the offensive, especially from the Bills play very aggressive in certain scenarios. And I think this could benefit the Browns and put them into potential playoffs next year. Because they're already that good.
Lord does not agree with you. Total trash, huh? Well, we will see next year for sure. Their offense was hit and miss. So, depending how they mesh, because, I mean, the offense coordinator needs to mesh with their quarterbacks and their players, and the plays need to be done for them. If they don't mesh well, they're going to be, as you say, trash.
Mm-hmm.
But we will still wait and see, as they still have a lot to do in this offseason. New players, new staff, everything's coming through. I do think if they keep the same defense and the offense, even if it doesn't get better, but it gets not necessarily better, but it's consistent,
yeah,
they'll be in a much better spot. I think. But
But if we're talking about consistency here,
Mhm. They had a problem with that for sure.
yeah.
During the year, the Bills did anyways. Uh,
Yeah,
the-
consistency was definitely a virtue.
yeah. Well, the thing is also they got to go through the Ravens here, year in and year out, and then Cincinnati is also no slouch unless Burrow is hurt.
Yeah.
But they also got to go through that powerhouse of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Steelers. I mean, Coach Tomlin still hasn't had a losing season in his how many years in the Steelers organization. So that division is tough to head to toe, and that also division also known to play hard nosed football. That means focus on defense, hit hard, and focus on the running game. Make sure they hit hard too.
Interim offensive coach.
Yes, we did talk about that. Was our next one. Thanks for cutting it off. Bills did name Joe Brady, the former interim offensive coordinator, officially their new offensive coordinator. So he was taken off the interim, officially offensive coordinator. And as I remember correctly, before he was put in an interim position of offensive coordinator, he their offense was, as you said, not consistent.
Yeah.
When that changed, we saw the Bills going to the run, and they got hot. They got real hot enough to take Miami off second place on the AFC standing. What is your thoughts on that?
As I've been saying for a while, well, I haven't been saying it for a while, but if I was to have pick a team of what I would say is my team, Bills would be my team. Everybody you always hear, this is their year. This is their year. Bills have been this close to the finish line several times.
Several years in a row.
And a better offense, and especially a double down defense against some teams, Bills could be killer. Bills just definitely need that push on their offense to just keep going that much farther. Yeah. What they need to go.
They also need some more playmakers defensively, as we saw against the Chiefs. That's what cut their playoff hopes right then and there.
We will have to read up on Bill Belichick for head defensive coach for the Bills.
That's a nice thought.
It is a nice thought.
The problem with that is I don't think he's going to go to defense when he only needs 15 wins to be the most winning coach of all time.
Yeah.
Head coach of all time.
Yeah, that's where I'm a bit iffy on it.
Yeah. And that was our next topic, one of our next topics, with the coaching options starting to cut down. Nor Bill Belichick, nor Titans' old head coach. Crap, I'm brain farting right now. Let me know what his name. I can't remember Titans head coach name. Previous head coach.
Oh, I hit it.
Well, get me with that. But those two top contenders, also with Seattle's old head coach. Oh my God, I'm brain farting on names.
That's okay. Let's see here.
Right.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel. There you go, Vrabel. And then Seattle's head coach that was forced out this offseason. Yeah, none of them have been announced for any head coach jobs. And there are good head coaches. Two of them are previous Super Bowl champions. One of them did a great job with the Titans till this last year.
You're not talking about Pete Carroll, are you?
Yeah, Pete Carroll. There you go. Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, and Bill Belichick. No, he is not their head coach anymore. Vrabel, he was released from their contract. He is now on the market to be hired somewhere else, as we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I went back too far. Let's see. The current one is Brian Callahan for Titans head coach.
Yeah, he was just hired, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But Vrabel was let go, but no one has been mentioning him, Pete Carroll, or Bill Belichick for many coaching jobs, and with only really 2 head coaching positions open, a lot of them might just take off a year. No, man. He was forced out by the front offices, as he said, non-football people, forced them out into a advisory role for Seattle Seahawks, which I think he will leave sooner than later to be a head coach somewhere else. Uh, that's unfortunately that looks like Seattle might have some sucky years going forward, especially if you got non-football people doing decisions on football specific things. Um, but that is part of the game. Another offensive coordinator announced today. Kellen Moore will be the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. Um, Immediately after they lost, they immediately got a new defensive coordinator.
Immediately,
like literally, they got rid of their people. Immediately, new defensive coordinator and immediately a new offensive coordinator for the Eagles. They seem like they still want to win. They look hungry with these fast moves. They got probably the best available for them at the time. He was previously with the Detroit. I know. Yeah, I don't know who he was previously. I did not write it down. But regardless, new
Dallas?
offensive coordinator. Maybe. But regardless, they're trying to move. They're trying to get better. They want to get back to the Super Bowl again. Also news with Chargers hiring Harbaugh to be their head coach. They're working on hiring Joe Hortiz as their new general manager. A new revamp for the Chargers as well, as they pretty much let go of their head coach and their GM during the season after that Raider ass whooping. That's right, I said it. That ass whooping. But yeah, they're doing moves. It seems like the teams that were close to making the playoffs or made the playoffs and lost, they are making moves to continue and win. They want to get to the Super Bowl. They want to win, especially the Chargers. They have been to the Super Bowl once, and they got blown out by the 49ers. They want to get back there, and they want to win a Super Bowl, as they're currently the only team in the AFC West that has not won a Super Bowl.
Man.
Yeah, Kansas City has 3. Denver Broncos have 3. Raiders have 3. And they got none. So
That's what feels bad for Chargers.
yeah, I mean, it's not just that they have none. Is they've had teams to win it. They just have charged it up. They've blown stuff that they should have won. So it sucks for them. But regardless, that's part of the game, right? Moving on to other games, specifically the NBA. The trade line is fast approaching here. February 8th is the deadline to make any trades. And considering there's teams that are just outside the playoff bubble or looking to pick up a few more pieces to get hotter, to get better positioning, there'd probably be a lot of trades here. At least that's what's rumored to be. We will keep you posted on that the following week or so.
Yeah, the deadline is next Monday.
Next Monday. So we'll keep you posted Friday and next
Monday after. Wait, where am I? I'm too far.
Yeah, dude.
Thursday.
Okay, so we'll keep you in the next week and a half. We'll keep you posted on those for sure. But there's rumored to be that many trades are in talks. So that'll be crazy. Hopefully the Lakers get a few more players as they're right outside the playoff bubble, but also in danger of falling under 500 here pretty soon if they don't improve quickly. Now in sad news, unfortunately, ex-Red Sox and Blue Jays and Astros manager Jimmy Williams dies at the age of 80. No report has said about how, but I'm pretty sure it's maybe some sort of illness or old age. But
80's a pretty generous old age.
Yeah, so rest in peace to him, and T's in peace to his family and friends, you know. He had two World Series wins, so he is a champion as a player, if I remember correctly. Sad to hear, but you know, we're not promised eternal life.
No.
So
not unless you have a lot, and I mean a lot of money.
Even then, you're gonna die. That's one thing. We all end up in the same place. But
100% of deaths happen on Earth.
Yeah, 100%. But anyways, other news, specifically Olympics.
Oh,
it was announced today that, or late last night, that Russian figure skater is set to lose their 2022 gold medal that they won as a doping allegation. The court did an arbitration, and second place winner was a U.S. skater. I could not find the name for.
It just said the U.S. skating team.
Yeah.
She was under suspicion for a off the market heart medication, and that's why it's being her victory is being revoked. I don't know how much of a performance enhancing drug that this is, but it was enough to take away their gold medal.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time that this is.
No.
Excuse me, I'm getting burpy.
It's okay.
It's not the first time that a gold medal holder has been revoked or the decision has been traded. It's pretty interesting to me that this occurs, and it's not necessarily to me arbitrary that it happens, but it's just wild that it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly happens with 2 or 3 countries, with USA, Russia, and China. They seem to be the three most winning countries in Olympic histories are the ones that are caught most of the time with these allegations and stuff. So it's kind of funny. Hold on, let me take a drink. The chip was starting to burn me up. But yeah, so that means another gold for USA. One less silver, but that's fine. Oh, excuse me. There's still more conversations going on getting an NHL and Major League Baseball team here. Nothing further concrete has been said.
Most that the A's want to come to the new Daybreak Stadium, which it could be very beneficial. And it seems like it would just be their training arena, not necessarily their home. I don't understand how baseball works in the slightest, but
it might be their temporary home.
Their temporary home.
As they were saying that the Las Vegas stadium that they have for the A's might not be ready on time for the seasons when they're supposed to come. So
and that's supposed to be finished 2025.
Yeah, so we will see. But also remember to join us on Wednesday as we will be doing our NFL Honor Awards again. This is just our thoughts on who all the awards from Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, MVP, all that stuff. We'll have our picks, not necessarily what the NFL has picked. It's just our opinions, our thoughts. So
who deserves it and who
we think at least deserves it.
Yeah.
Join us then. We will be dropping it Wednesday, late afternoon, most likely. But moving on from sports, let's go to sports entertainment. Let's review this year's 2024 Royal Rumble. Whoever joined us for the live stream, thank you guys for joining us. But let's talk about right off the bat. We go right into Women's Royal Rumble, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, what an event. I really enjoyed the Women's Royal Rumble. I didn't realize how influential the Women's Royal, specifically a Royal Rumble, dictates kind of like what to expect from a wrestler that year. So watching everything go through, Naomi being there from the second release or the first release?
It was the number 2. I have the list up here.
And she was in all the way until the last 4?
4 or 5. Yeah, Bailey also, who was number 3, ended up winning the whole thing. But yeah, Natalya, Naomi, and Bailey, all first 3. Whoops. Definitely made it pretty much to the end of the match, which was an hour and a bit. An hour and 4 or 5 minutes.
So, Naomi was an hour and 3 minutes.
Yeah. And Bailey was an hour and 4.5 minutes or something like that. So literally, what the way they mentioned is literally the record was broken twice at the end of the match. Naomi fell through; she was a new record holder on time in the Women's Royal Rumble, and when Bailey won, she won that time, that honor. Some surprises that on the Women's Royal Rumble, Jordan Grace TNA Knockouts champion. Was not expected to be here. Happy to see her here, as we talked about her previously in a few weeks ago. She looks amazing. She's a great talent, and apparently, a lot of people backstage were impressed with her work. So
Heck yeah. I can't tell you which one that one was, and
the buff
if
one,
you, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
the shredded lady.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
she was awesome.
and yes, Lord, he is still in talks to bring an NHL team here. Nothing further has been said about it, but I am super excited to see that happened, as I could get to see the Golden Knights and my Kings hopefully play out here, which I'm very excited for. And maybe we could go on a live game and review it after. That'd be
Heck
freaking
yeah.
amazing.
Just like what we will be doing for SmackDown coming up here on the 16th of February.
Exactly. Can't wait for that. That'll be fun.
I know that you had, going back to wrestling,
The Royal Rumble.
I know that you had problems with one individual coming into the ring.
Yeah. We know, as those who joined me in the live stream heard me bitch and moan pretty much since she went in till she was eliminated. Nia Jax. Look, I already said what I had to in the live stream. She's getting money. I'm not against that. Let her get her money. But in the ring, she's not great. In the mic, she's okay. She has great charisma with certain things where, like, she ended up doing a leg drop to the apron where she said, "Oh, my hole," like she heard her butthole. That was funny and that went viral. Cool. But other than that, it's just, to me, she's more a risk than anything else for the other wrestlers.
She looks like she wants to hurt somebody.
She's acting like this. She's almost acting like Ronda Rousey did in her last run as women's champion. Nonchalant, not giving a fuck. And I get it, man. That's her character. But when the way she's working, she will hurt someone again, like she's done in the past.
Oh yeah.
And to me, I'd rather not have that around.
But I will say she did move names around the board. The Royal Rumble was filling up with quite a lot of people, and
before she came,
until Nia Jax came, she came in and she knocked out 3 people right away.
Yeah.
Um,
I still don't give a damn
yeah.
about her, to be honest with
but
you.
that's enough about a Nia Jax.
Yeah, a few other surprises here. That came in. Let's go over a few that came in. Tegan Knox, Max Dupree, who I will mention a lot on Friday's worst moments of wrestling. There were some messed up moments here. What's her name? Shotzi came back.
I know you were excited about Shotzi.
Yeah, I just like for her entrance, and because I know her from L.A. She worked a lot in L.A. So that's why I'm just happy to see people from the same area succeed. Roxanne Perez, man, love her. Zoe Starks, who did great. And then the debuting from AEW, now in WWE, Jade Cargill.
Oh, I know you were stunned that Jade Cargill came out, and she was like first or third, wasn't she?
No, she was 28th.
28th, okay.
Yeah, third away from the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting all mixed up here.
Yeah, it's okay. But regardless, she did a great job. She stand toe to toe. She's the one that eliminated Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Which,
and you said she's the one that's going to eliminate
as soon
Nia
as I
Jax.
saw her, well, we were talking about it already before, but as soon as I saw her come up, I was like, oh, she's eliminating Nia Jax. This buff woman right here is going to eliminate her.
Yeah, my question was, who's going to kill her?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, and we couldn't figure it out till she popped up. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, there
That
it
makes
is.
sense.
There it is. Also, NXT star Tiffany, who did a great. You were the one that you mentioned that was everything was holding on by a thread. She looked.
Oh
great.
yeah, okay, her.
Yeah, she would look great. And then the returning from long time injury, Liv Morgan, great performance from her. One little thing I will mention before we move on from the Women's Royal Rumble is when Valhalla called in, R-Truth decided to join the match.
That was funny.
I mean, R-Truth is comedy gold, obviously. If you didn't know that, you know that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. He goes in, looks up, and she's all women. He's like, I think I'm in the wrong one. What the hell?
Yep.
And immediately gets eliminated after that by Nia Jax.
R-Truth is a funny guy.
Yes,
He ended up in the wrong arena, but
yeah, definitely. Funny moment. Overall, this match, we're doing the review now, right, as well? Let's just do it. Cool. What you think on this match? What do you give it?
Oh, man. Just this match specifically. I'm making that bullet bounce. um, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
This match was 2 thumbs up. Definitely the meat was in the Royal Rumbles.
Definitely, and we'll get into that just in a bit.
We got a Royal Rumble sandwich going on. We have title fights are the
in between the
are the meat, and then you got the big supporting bread of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. For me, this match, because I called the winner, I think Nia Jax was in there way too long for my liking, just because we know that biased I have against her, unfortunately.
She did too much.
Yes. I wish Kairi Sane was in it longer. I did like Selena's Vega's entrance with those metal wings.
Definitely awesome.
Great. There was a lot of botches here and a lot of little ticky-tacky things that we talked about on Friday. So I'm giving it 1 thumbs up, not 2. Maybe like 1.5. 1.5.
Yeah, I was pretty close to 1.5.
Yeah.
But I decided to kick it over for the 2.
Definitely. But it was a decent, good, one of their better Royal Rumbles for the women's side. Let's move on now to the Fatal 4-Way WWE Universal Champion match, with Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, and of course, Roman Reigns. I was surprised it was put in a second match here. I thought it was going to be the one after, but I did not call shots. Whatever, it was surprising. Let's get into it, man. What you think of the match? What was your expectation? And, well, yeah, let's go over your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the most shows I've ever watched. It just felt super slow. You had Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight fighting constantly. And then Randy Orton would disappear, and then it was AJ Styles and LA Knight. Then Roman Reigns would show back up. He'd get thrown down to the ground, and then you would just... It was just the same repeating whatever. Then you have Solo Sikoa that comes in. He's supposed to mix it all up and make it seem spicy.
Yep.
Solo Sikoa, within his 5 seconds of being there and knocking himself out, did more than Roman freaking Reigns, man.
Yeah.
I'm upset at this match. Roman Reigns doesn't deserve to hold the freaking title. He doesn't do that much at all. He needs support from absolutely everybody. No.
All right. Before we get to your official review, I'm going to go into it a little bit as well. So, I don't think this match was as bad as you're saying it, but I agree that Roman Reigns did not do much at all. There was a few times where Ellen Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles were all in points of winning the match. And somehow, they didn't, right? Obviously, as Roman Reigns retained.
Yeah.
What really dampened this match is, as the match went on, we did notice Randy Orton either laying down too long, grabbing his shoulder.
He did look injured. Nothing has come out yet.
Yeah, nothing has been said, but it definitely looked like this match was cut short due to that injury.
It definitely seemed like Randy was supposed to have a star shining moment, but he was messing with his shoulder.
His shoulder, I think it was his right shoulder that he was grabbing onto.
Yeah, he was favoring it too much, and you could see like points where he was, oh goodness, tucked away in the corner and just holding it.
Breath, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he did a few moves after we noticed that, and he would like poke at his shoulder, like definitely something's up. So expect news of a possible injury from Randy Orton. Hopefully, it's nothing that will keep him out of WrestleMania. Maybe just a little R&R, and he'll be fine. But he does have a history of shoulder injuries.
I was about to ask.
Going back to his first few years in WWE, it's just has been his Achilles heel. Unfortunately for him, it's his shoulders. But regardless, Roman Reigns retains. Um,
I think his name should just be Roman Retains now.
nah, we'll get into why I don't think so, but here in a bit. Um, what is your? I'll go first since you went on the last one. I give this a for the reason that it's just mid because I think it was cut short due to injury. I think they still had more time to go. I think around 10 more minutes in the match. And we were talking during the live stream that if it would have gone on the what probably should have been the full time, it might have been a lot better match. So that's why I'm giving it a mid. It's not. It sucks that it was cut short, and that's why it feels bad. But I don't think this was a terrible match at all. How about you, man?
For me, I got this a thumbs down.
Oh,
If it wasn't for the injury on Randy Orton, and potentially cutting the match even shorter than, well, cutting it short, it would be two thumbs down if this was exactly what we were supposed to get. But because Randy Orton was seemingly injured and taken out of the fight, it only gets one thumbs down. So it was promoted. I did not like this. From what you could tell in the crowds and whatnot, nobody really cared about the fight. There was some cheering a little bit at the start.
yeah. I think they're just tired of Roman Reigns being the champion.
Yeah.
And in our predictions here at the end of the show, we'll talk about what possibly could happen and what we want to happen with our predictions. But moving on swiftly to the next match was a U.S. title match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, man.
It was a better fight.
Slightly, not by much. This one, to me, I'm just going to go over it because it doesn't have much that happened.
No, there's not much for me to even say about it. What you have to say about it, I have to say.
Grayson Waller and Austin Theory came out to help Logan Paul. And obviously he retained. To me, I don't want to give it a thumbs down, but it's leaning towards right now.
I'll tell you right now, I got an eh.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't give it any higher, and even though I want to give it lower, I think it was.
All right, actually, there was the upset part where they framed Kevin Owens. That is the part that was annoying.
Yes, I forgot about that.
That actually puts it to a thumbs down for me.
Thumbs down because of that alone. Referees usually never catch the cheating or anybody, and all of a sudden Kevin hits Logan Paul with brass knuckles that he tried to use on Kevin Owens, and now the ref has 2020 plus.
Logan Paul trying to hit Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens grabbing it and ripping it, and then punching him, and then
when he's going for the pin, the ref now has more than supernatural eyesight and catches it. Yeah,
exactly that.
I get it, the storyline, whatever, bullshit, bull crap, and I get it why they do it like that. Usually, when a good guy cheats, he gets caught. When the bad guy cheats, he doesn't get caught. It's part of the show.
It's definitely lining them up for revenge.
WrestleMania, most likely, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Thumbs down for me.
Was good, Sadir.
Sadler. But yeah, this match is a thumbs down for me. It wasn't terrible. Just the ending was.
It was just annoying. The ending definitely set me off.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul would have still won the fight. Some burgers and some hot dogs. That sounds tasty. I'm gonna go home and make me some meatballs.
Nice.
Logan Paul would have won the fight without the brass knuckles. Yeah. That's the biggest thing for me is he was already winning, and then he just had to win even more by bringing brass knuckles, and then
the switch around. It was just whatever.
Messy.
Yeah, that's why thumbs down. It just I didn't like the ending of it. But moving on to the main event, the men's Royal Rumble. I think, for me personally, this was a better match than the women's one. Specifically for stuff that we will go over on Friday. There was some ticky-tacky stuff, some botches in the women's one that I did not like.
Yeah, there was several moments.
Mm-hmm. But to me, this was a much smoother match. So that's why this one to me is better. There was a lot of great names on here. What'd you think of this match, man? First of all,
Uh, I really enjoyed the men's Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
It was something to remember,
Mhm.
and overall, it was pretty good. There was some moments where, like in the women's Royal Rumble, not the greatest things,
Mhm.
but I feel like that they were able to capture a lot of good fights
Mhm.
and
And set
uh
up a lot of storylines.
and set oh yeah, they set up a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
And then it was comical also. There was several comical
Yeah.
moments. Which
R-Truth again in this one came out. So I just realized R-Truth came out in 24th in this Rumble. For the women's, that was also the same spot where he actually came out at. So they're playing up that he got confused for sure on this one. This is great. But yeah, also Pat McAfee surprised announced. He was surprised to be announced and surprised at number 22. He was funny as he came in. He had a Braun Breaker from NXT was also surprised and almost standing in front of me. He's like, "Nope," and got the hell out.
So we did have a theory while watching the live match
Mhm.
about what all of that was happening, and it was, and Paco brought it up, that do you think that Randy Orton was supposed to be in the fill for Pat McAfee?
Mm-hmm. Definitely one of the ones we thought. There was another rumor that was talked about that I'm gonna talk about now. Brock Lesnar was rumored to make his return to WWE at the Rumble, and supposedly after last week's allegations with Vince, he was withdrawn from the Rumble.
Spicy.
Yeah, exactly. The reasons not included in the post in the news article I saw. But when I saw that, I thought that was one of the ones that possibly might have been Pat McAfee replaced. But
Yeah, Pat McAfee seemed to have been thrust into the position.
because
They
he wasn't
didn't
even told. He was
Yeah.
not even told.
And not that he was seemed like he was out of place as an announcer, but they really didn't have a spot for him to sit either. He was
Added it.
right here in the table.
Yeah. He was added on most likely last few days or
Yeah.
last day. But regardless, he goes in, he does a funny bit where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get killed." Bounces out, bounces back in. He's like, "No, I can't be a coward. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get out of here."
No, I am a coward.
And in this case, he had a what is it? That thing, 7 foot almost, and then the barking, Braun Baker, like his father. Yeah, I don't blame him for that. But regardless, that was a funny moment. Damien just being killed by everybody was funny as hell. Karrion Kross and the Bobby Lashley spilling out to the outside. Their factions coming up and fighting was very good. And then when Ludwig came in, he was acting like, "What the hell is on?" All nonchalant and just very
All
arrogant.
prissy and
Yeah, exactly. Very arrogant. He's like, "Oh, why are these guys fighting out here?"
it's dirty.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of attitude. But let's go back to the beginning as this match started with number 1, Jey Uso. And to everybody's surprise, number 2, his brother, Jimmy Uso. Man, that was good. To me, that's setting up for a future match that we will mention right at the end of this show for our predictions, wrestling predictions. We have a lot. I know I have a lot. I know you have quite a few as well.
I have a handful.
Oh, handful. But like I said, like we said in the beginning, this set up a lot of storylines, and I think this was one of them for sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize how influential this Royal Rumble sets the stage for the rest of the year.
At least till WrestleMania.
At least till WrestleMania, where okay, that's it was a little bit of an overstatement on my end.
Yeah, but it definitely sets up a lot of storylines right here. I mean, excuse me, you got 30 superstars entering one match. However they interact, however they play it off, it could set up rivalries, it could set up storylines down the line. Someone gets injured, guess what? On the comeback, whoever did that or whoever eliminated them, that's a storyline for later dates. So it's
you touched me in the Royal Rumble,
yeah.
I'm gonna kick your butt.
Exactly, pretty much. So I'm gonna go over a few storylines that were set up here real quick. We talked about the J. I see Andrade, who just made his return after AEW, um, and Santos Escobar also possibly having a match down the road here, as both of them. There's history from before they were in WWE, as they were both in Mexico in I think AAA or CML, one of the big two in Mexico, Lucha Libre, in the same faction of Los Ingobernables, who also has an iteration in Japan with Naito. So all of them were in that one faction. So I see this possibly leading up to more down the road. Uh, Kalen Cross and Bobby Lashley fighting all the way up the ramp. That's definitely another match down the road. Carlitos and Dominic, probably another match.
Oh, Carlito and Dom is going to be
Mm-hmm.
pretty good.
Yes. Also, Santos Escobar and Carlito had a little interaction. Um, Kofi and Gunther, who we'll talk about in a little bit, actually have a match tonight on Raw for the IC title. Had a little bit of a scuffle there. Braun Breaker coming in from NXT. I think he's ready for the main event, main roster, and just destroying people. Spear after spear after spear. He speared the shit out of Dominic. That was great. I love it. I think he's ready for the main event. I think he's going to be the next one to be probably pushed like Gunther being a freaking top dog.
Was that the guy who was
Barking.
spearing weird?
No. That's Bobby Lashley, the one
Okay.
that does the flip. This guy was the one that was barking when
Okay,
Pat
yeah.
McAfee comes
No,
in.
he's pretty freaking good. I think they set him up pretty well.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a future star. I think they're setting up R-Truth and JD I forget his last name, but they're setting them up from Judgment Day. Drew McIntyre, probably Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. But like we said, first time in 20 years, Cody Rhodes, back-to-back Royal Rumble winner.
Oh yeah.
Excited for that. Definitely going to talk more about this at the end of this, like we said in our predictions. He wants to finish the story. Immediately after he won, he pointed at Roman Reigns. He's like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great.
And then they were shouting, and then there was this lady that was filming them. So we probably could find exactly what Roman said.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just that's a little bit of digging that we're not willing to do right now.
100%. Exactly. we'll figure it out here soon. Unfortunately, though, in this match, as we were looking, it was finally announced today, but confirmed injured at the Men's Royal Rumble was CM Punk, as we saw him grabbing on his elbow at the end of the match. He was the last one eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Continued fighting even after we noticed it very well.
He was definitely favoring his left arm. His left arm definitely injured. And it was his tricep that was injured.
Yeah, he has a torn tricep for sure. Oh, definitely. Yeah. He definitely has a torn tricep. I forget sometimes. But it looks like he will miss WrestleMania. Yeah, he did have, before we went on there, we saw the promo of him claiming that he will most likely have to get surgery on it.
And then Drew McIntyre decided to pop in.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But before we do, we wish him a speedy recovery. I know I've talked shit about him, specifically the way he acts outside the ring.
Right now, he seems like a changed man.
He does. But again, like I said, I do not wish ill intent on nobody.
Yeah.
Me shit talking him before was nothing against him. It was just what we heard, what we saw in behind the stage. Nothing against him wrestling. Wrestling, like I said, he is probably one of the best to ever do it. And I do not wish any injury on anybody because that's terrible. But hopefully he gets back soon and gets back to what he loves and hopefully main event of WrestleMania that he still wants to do. Now, that being said, what do you give this final match and the total show?
Final match, I give another 2 thumbs up. And then for the total show, I give a single thumbs up.
Okay.
It wasn't a spectacular show.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of the most promos. I'm not going to say it's the worst promo I've seen. There was the one that we had in November. That was pretty bad.
Yes.
That
was bad. Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
This was pretty good in comparison.
Yeah. So for me, this match is 2 thumbs up. The main event was the best match of the night, in my opinion, which doesn't mean shit. This is just my opinion.
Yeah.
The show overall, mid. It's just there was too much. The two mid matches, the U.S. title and the Fatal Four-Way, to me brought the show down very much. Especially that U.S. title. Just the ending was, to me, terrible.
Messy.
Very messy.
And not the soccer player.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's my favorite. All right. Let me have it.
Yeah, dad jokes over here.
And then we lose a viewer on it. Damn it.
Yeah, fuck. That's all you, man. But the women's Royal Rumble had a few botches that kind of brought it down for me as well. So that's why overall it's just a mid show. Considering this is one of the top 4 shows of the year, there was a lot wrong with it. I mean, not a lot, but there was some stuff wrong with it where it brought it down quite a bit for me. Mm-hmm. So just a mid show. The men's Royal Rumble probably saved it in my eyes. And the fact that I was correct on both predictions, on Bayley winning and on Cody Rhodes being one of my choices to win.
If either of the Rumbles would have been worse off, it probably would have just been a thumbs down overall.
Yeah, agreed. The women's was really close to pulling it down for me too.
Yeah, I think I gave it 2 thumbs up, or did I give it 1 thumbs up?
No, you gave it 2 thumbs. I gave it a thumb and a half.
Yeah, it was good. Wasn't that good? Either way.
Yeah. So regardless, do we recommend the show? The matches, the women's Royal Rumble and the men's Royal Rumble, obviously, especially with the surprises.
Yeah. The
other 2 matches, you could take or leave it. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't seem like they were necessary to even be in this promo. Nothing eventful happened to the point where you were like, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. So waste of a promo spot.
Definitely. But with that being said, we already mentioned Randy Orton possible injury. We haven't heard anything official yet, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. But confirmed CM Punk will be out of WrestleMania. Now moving into tonight's Raw, the first hour was set to be commercial free earlier today, so that's great news. And also, as we were saying in that promo when CM Punk came in, Drew McIntyre came in. You want to continue on that?
Oh, so yeah, CM Punk came out talking about his injuries, how he's not gonna most likely make it to WrestleMania, which seems like a legitimate thing. We saw pain in CM's eyes, and then you have Drew McIntyre who comes out and CM Punk gets in his face. He, in comparison to Drew McIntyre, he looks like a little squirrel barking up a tree. And Drew's just looking down at him and just nodding his head a little bit. CM gets his piece out of the way, and Drew just... Bam! I don't know, the video that we watched, I don't know if the initial hit landed.
On CM Punk?
Yeah.
No, it did not. CM Punk ducked it. And he came back with some hits and even throwing some forearms with that injured elbow. Took off the strap and Drew took him out.
Yeah, chopped him down onto the ground.
Yeah.
Then Drew assaulted him.
Yes, technically. But that's also putting a continuous line from whenever CM Punk gets back to go against Drew McIntyre. So the question I have here is, with Drew McIntyre's contract still up in the air, does this put a little more pressure on him re-signing with WWE or them getting him signed? Because that's going to leave an open, unfinished business there between them two. So that's a possibility.
Yeah, because now you have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre fighting, and CM Punk is what's keeping Drew McIntyre from essentially going. Now you have no CM Punk.
Yeah.
Where is Drew going to go? If he's going to go anywhere, what's going to happen to him? It sucks if he's out due to an injury that he couldn't control.
Yes, exactly.
I definitely think that they can still plug him in for some small fights, but until CM Punk is back, I don't think we're going to see a lot of Drew or a lot of influential stuff from Drew McIntyre.
Agreed. I mean, um, it is gonna be hard to believe that uh, that they're just gonna let that open. But there's also possibilities of him going for the World Heavyweight Champion that we'll talk about in a bit, because that's still up in the air.
Yeah.
Also, for tonight, it is announced that Judgment Day will go against DIY for the tag titles. I'm kind of hoping Judgment Day loses them. We've heard enough about them, personally. Gunther, like we mentioned in the Royal Rumble, had an interaction with Kofi Kingston. They will have a match tonight for the IC title. So that title will be on the line here again tonight. So 2 titles on the line tonight. And then also announced for today will be Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed.
That's a big boy for Jay to be fighting, man.
Yes. I know you mentioned something that you think he's going to get destroyed on this one.
Well, I say that I'm thinking about it as like a fighter stance, all right? He's
Gotcha.
outweight classed.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That's where I was like, okay, but Jay also has the speed to get around it. The problem is Bronson Reed could literally just pick up Jay and then use him as a body pillow.
Pretty much. It all depends how they want to go and push Bronson Reed. If they feel like they need to push him, if they want to push him along to get more momentum before WrestleMania.
They just need to put him on a hill.
Jesus, you were stuck in that. No, but what I mean.
Yes.
They would have him beat Jay either clean or with Jimmy's interference with what we have planned here, what I have for my predictions.
I hope that Jimmy just doesn't show up in every single Jay's match.
I agree.
It'll be just annoying until we get to WrestleMania. That's the biggest problem that I have.
The thing is, that's the way they would build it a little bit.
It definitely built tensions.
But if they want to build up Jay still, he would probably win. But those are the matches announced so far for Raw. If any results happen, we'll keep you posted here. I want to give a special shout out to, first of all, FTR and Daniel Garcia, and that versus the House of Black that happened this Saturday at AEW Collision. The main event was Escape the Cage match between these 6 men. As the Royal Rumble happening, updates were happening and coming into my phone. This match was brutal, even before it started. Brutal, as Daniel Garcia got jumped backstage. It was very bloody, and Daniel Garcia ended up winning the match for FTR and himself.
Enjoy your hot tub.
There you go, Sadler. Go R&R. But this match was fucking great. I think they're gonna put some momentum behind Daniel Garcia and push him along after the bad showing he had for the Continental Classic tournament. So I'm excited to see that, as he is a good technical wrestler as well. Also announced tonight is Pat McAfee is back on broadcast as commentator now for the foreseeable future on Monday Night Raw.
Pat McAfee is such a great person on the mic.
Dude.
Holy heck.
Yes.
He is able to spit it out. He is able to get involved. He brings up the energy. And I definitely think if Pat McAfee was not at the Royal Rumble match, us on our side would have been feeling it.
That might have been a thumbs down overall show.
Because he was giving a lot of hype. And I'm going to roll this back to the crowd. The crowd did not seem interested or like super hyped to be watching the event. Now, they don't get the commentators like we do. So, having Pat McAfee sit there and hype us up, and, people would come out and he'd start dancing and singing, and it was great. It definitely made our viewing pleasure better.
Definitely. Now that you mention it, I feel like it would have brought it down a lot too. So
this very well could have been a 2 thumbs down event.
At least one, because he had probably announcing brought it up, hyped up the crowd for sure, and the show, and then Second, that moment in the Royal Rumble, I think definitely there was a lull spot between that where he definitely brought up the comedy and was very enjoyable.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so probably would have brought that down, but glad to see him back on WWE every week there. So I'm happy about this.
Pat's a clown, man.
He's
It's
one.
great.
He's one of our guys. He's just a fucking clown, which I love. Not in a bad way. He likes to mess around. So I love it. I am all for this. That is all our wrestling news. Before we go on to our predictions, our storyline predictions, at least in wrestling, we have some entertainment that Jax will go over here.
Yeah, we just got a little bit, some very hyped information about games and shows coming out. We have Prison Architect 2. That's coming out March 26th. I know a lot of people will be excited for that. In the unexpected excitement for simulator games, we have Taxi Life. That is going to be coming out on March 7th. Um, I definitely enjoy watching specific people play simulator games, and I'll be excited to continue watching them do that. And the next one, which you're probably excited for this one,
Call them Bones.
yeah, Skull and
Yes.
Bones. I'm excited to watch the content of what Skull and Bones is going to bring. I don't know if I will be purchasing the game just yet. I don't even know how much it is.
Nothing has been said. I don't think so.
Yeah, if you want to take the starting off on the shows, I'm gonna take a peek at
Yeah,
Skull and Bones cost.
yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited for Skull and Bones as I'm currently working through Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so it'll be somewhat of a similar, not story, but um, kind of play with the pirate theme. Uh, but there's some movies coming out. I saw this trailer today. Monkey Man. It is produced by Jordan Peele, right? Yeah, Jordan Peele.
And directed by I forget his name,
I can't.
but it's a good director. Damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for that. It looks very good. It has a touch of John Wick ish style of film.
Yeah, to me it seems like it's the show to combat John Wick.
Gotcha, movie.
Yes, to combat the movie franchise.
Yes. I even went as far as saying this might be in the same universe. Man, I'm most likely wrong, but that would not surprise me. Uh, Also coming out here,
$70 for Skull and Bones, and you won't be able to play it unless you upgrade.
then that's cool.
Yeah.
We might have to play it on yours,
Yeah.
but
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If I look at it and it's something that I could justify and be like, yeah, that looks like that could be a lot of fun. Especially if it's crossplay, then I'll be playing with Lord Atomic here. Um,
Yeah. But definitely, it looks very hype. And like you said, it probably die. Uh,
the thing is the game just seems like it's if you aren't constantly playing it, you're behind. Um,
Possibly.
so I will be excited to see it. I'm going to give it a week. If in a week I'm not hearing a lot of information about it, the game doesn't look that good. That's coming. I lied. It says February 12th on the board. It's February 16th.
Gotcha.
And I'll be seeing if it's something that I'm willing to actually purchase. Because it's a scary thing to touch. I love Black Flag. I really did.
Mhm.
But
I'm enjoying Black Flag so far,
mm,
but I'm only in the beginning stages of it as well.
it only gets better.
Okay. But yeah, definitely looks interesting. Monkey Man, like we mentioned, to me it looks very interesting. I'll probably go watch it in theaters.
That comes out in April.
Yes. Still have some time. A more closer release, it is Dune 2.
Oh yeah, so Dune 2 is dropping March 1st. You can watch it as early as March 29th, or February 29th, February 29th at 3 p.m. here in Utah at least. And I have somebody that's chomping at the bit. I feel like it's going to be a Sea of Thieves and decent fan base, but isn't talked about. I definitely can see Skull and Bones knocking back to that real quick. I can see Skull and Bones becoming a very Sea of Thieves, especially with like DLC as the meat. Um, it's if you've watched the full like 11 or 13-minute breakdown video, it goes into exactly what the game is going to be and what to expect. I'm a little upset that you can only have a group of 3 captains together as of right now. But
Yeah, it would have been cool to kind of form a fleet like in One Piece, just a shitload of ships.
yeah, I wanted at least like a group of 10 people in like a pirate clan.
That would have been so great.
I don't know exactly what you would call a band of just a band of pirates, yeah?
Pretty much.
Yeah, have your own band of pirates, a 10-person group pirate ship, something or other.
Straight white bearded.
Yeah, exactly. I will be going and seeing Dune 2 March 5th with my brother and mother. I'm really excited for this. You still need to watch Dune 1.
Yes, I have not watched it. When the trailers first came out, I was not so interested. So I'm still debating if it's interesting enough for me or not.
I honestly don't think it's much your kind of movie,
Okay.
but
Yeah, if it's anything,
it's super sci-fi.
I mean, I enjoy sci-fi. It's just the movie itself. It looked like it was not enough action, a lot of story, and usually those.
It's very story.
Yeah, and not all of them, but some of them I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, it's nice, but I will not rewatch it. So I'll have to wait and see till I get more feedback on Dune 1. But there's also Roadhouse coming out March 8th, which is a remake of the 80s, early 90s Roadhouse, it looks like.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mhm.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you did mention that you are excited for it. I need to see more of it before, or more on it before I decide yes or no.
It's Hitman's Bodyguard vibes.
Okay, if they do it that way, that's fine. The 80s was a little more kind of like what was very popular, actiony type musical, which nah, not for me. And then there was a trailer announced for this week for Despicable Me, another
Despicable Me 4.
Exactly.
They got a kid now.
Yeah, yeah. Don't know when it's released. I did not look into it. But speaking also of DreamWorks, Kung Fu Panda is also announced to be.
We gotta watch Dune 1, Lord Atomic. It's great. I'll come over. I'll bring chips.
Mm.
I got the chips.
More than that, hopefully.
No, we get to share them.
Jeez. We'll meet in the middle.
But you're excited about Despicable Me 4, huh?
It's not that I'm excited. It's just kind of interesting that they're still pushing it as. I get it why it's very popular and the minions are fucking great, but it's kind of like the Kung Fu Panda. Do we really need another one?
I wrote Kung Fu Panda up there, man.
That's why
we need another Kung Fu Panda.
Do we really?
It's amazing.
I
love it.
Do we really need it?
Yes.
Hold on.
We need Jack Black. Yes.
All right, we know.
I'm excited for it. Kung Fu Panda is one of those lighthearted movies that any age group can sit there and watch and be like, all right, it wasn't a waste of my time, in my opinion.
I don't know. I haven't seen the last one either, so I watched the first 2 and I think that's it.
It's definitely stretching in the third one, for like reaching for any form of story to grab.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Kung Fu Panda 4. I can see where this could be roping it all together. New Jurassic World movie.
Do not care about it. Sorry, Lord. So this is a personal thing for me, so I'm gonna talk for a second. So the reason I have not seen any of the Jurassic movies besides the first like 2, my brother loves those movies, and when we were younger, he overplayed them, and I just got tired of seeing anything with that stuff. So the reason I haven't seen the new Jurassic Worlds, the new Jurassic anything, is blaming on my brother. He ruined everything for me. He would watch it every day, just like he ruined Pinocchio because he watched it every fucking day. Anyways,
Jurassic World 4 confirmed. Please leave dinosaur soldiers alone. That seems like a troll post. That if that is the title, what the fuck? But we'll see. I did not like the most recent Jurassic World. Um, I think I gave it two separate scores. All right, there was the nostalgia. That's the word I was looking for. There's the nostalgia rating with all the nostalgic purposes of absolutely everybody that was in the show. That puts it at a 5.5, 6. If this movie was to be released on its own, um, and there was no previous Jurassic Worlds before it, I put that movie at a 3. It was terrible. I don't see how they would even have the money or the. I can see where they have the money. It was pretty hyped up to watch the third Jurassic World film, but it was ass. As Atomic said, it's ass.
I don't know. I just, like I said, I watched the first one a lot because of my brother. The second one
Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
No, in the 90s, Jurassic Park.
Okay, because we're talking World.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it. Sorry, he ruined anything Jurassic for me. Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many the fuck there was? I did not watch any of them after the second one, just because my brother ruined the first one. He watched it so much.
That's fair.
And I do not give a damn about any of these movies. Personally, if you like it, cool. Go watch them. This is the stuff for you. It's not for me.
You didn't like dinosaurs growing up.
Nope.
Your parents hated you as a child.
Probably. Probably not, to be honest with you.
No, I'm teasing.
No. It's just, most of the stuff, you can blame it on my brother on that one. That one, Pinocchio, sorry. The Mexican way, definitely. But Jurassic Park and Pinocchio, he ruined for what? Almost said it again. For watching it daily and multiple times a day. So, I think also Lion King. Although, that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters, so it never will ruin it for me.
Yeah.
But regardless, I do not care about any Jurassic stuff at all. So, if you guys like it, like I said, go watch it. This is the stuff for you. But I do not have opinion left or right.
Low expectations. I'm definitely going to be waiting for everybody's review, and by everybody's I mean I'm expecting people to come up to me and ask me, have you seen Jurassic Park 4 or Jurassic World 4 yet? That's how I know a TV show may be really good or a movie may be really good, is when people are coming up to me and suggesting stuff.
Yeah, that's usually how I know too. Sometimes I never go with the flow. I kind of look in multiple sources. But a little update on Monday Night Raw. Gunther did retain his IC title against Kofi Kingston.
Imagine that.
I think we all saw that coming. And Judgment Day did defend their titles against DIY and retained.
I honestly expected that.
I did not want that, but whatever. It is okay.
But now that we're back into wrestling, why don't we get into our predictions?
Yes. Go ahead. You go first, Mike.
So, for my first go, I have Dom and Carlito going at it. They looked like that they were going at it inside of the ring.
During the Rumble.
And it looks like bad blood was not necessarily formed because it was already there with Carlito. As he's like a traditional Hispanic family man.
Kind of.
And Dom being the absolute epitome of F the world.
Yeah. I mean, I have this too as I do think there was enough for them. They had some interactions where it's like, okay, obviously there's going to be something happening here.
The thing that I hate about it, I see Dom winning Carlito. I see Dom rising and blowing through all the glass ceilings, I think is a good term for it.
I do too. As we mentioned during our most improved or our wrestling recap from 2023, I think Dominic has been one of the MVPs of this year, especially with his switch up to Dirty Dom,
Yeah.
as they like to say. I think he has a bright future in WWE or pro wrestling in general. Um, I do not feel like that match will happen at WrestleMania though, the Dominic Carlito, but I do see that happening sooner than later. One I also have is Cody Rhodes finishing his story at WrestleMania. Right after the Royal Rumble, he did call out immediately pointed at Roman Reigns. And he definitely wants to finish that story with him. Although I did see a little bit as I was going through Instagram. Seth Rollins kind of wants to fight Cody at WrestleMania. He wants Cody to pick him. What will happen? We'll wait to see. I think we got to finish Roman Reigns off with Cody on top. That's just my opinion. The other one I have is what kicked off the Royal Rumble. Jimmy and Jay starting off the Rumble and putting that there's still bad blood between them. And I think this will be a perfect time to have them at WrestleMania. This match is definitely a WrestleMania caliber match, in my opinion. How about you? Do you have any other predictions?
So I have one that's kind of dead in the water now, but I was fully expecting CM Punk and Cody Rhodes to be fighting as as Cody needs a new direction after he beats Roman Reigns. I don't see Cody losing to Roman Reigns. So kind of in like a double prediction right here. Not necessarily saying that Cody wins Universal World Champ, but I see Cody Rhodes at least winning in a casual fight against Roman Reigns.
I don't want to say it now because, I mean, I said it already. Cody finishes the story, which means he wins. He will win the champion, in my opinion.
And then he's going to need a new direction, and that's where I think CM Punk comes in after Drew McIntyre's done with him, potentially.
When he comes back from that injury, though.
Yeah.
For sure. That's why you said dead in the water.
Yeah, dead in the water. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that happening. I have a few other ones now with Seth Rollins' opponent now kind of up in the air. I think they will have an elimination chamber for the winner of that to face Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. That's my opinion. So it'll be 6 men in one match, which is the cage thing that you saw.
Yeah. Where everybody's in little cells and the cells open up whenever.
Exactly. It's a mini Royal Rumble cage match style, Hell in a Cell style.
It's a little hectic.
Oh, it is.
So some of these WWE events get pretty nutty.
Which is why I love it. And I'm pretty sure you're liking some of this stuff too.
Yeah, some of it gets really off the wall, but other stuff I'm just like, that was good.
Definitely. But I think that's how the challenger for Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship will be announced or be crowned. Another one I see happening here is as we saw in the Fatal 4-Way, there's still a lot of bad blood between LA Knight and AJ Styles. I think this is also a match to build up to WrestleMania, and probably end the feud there, or probably announce who will fight Cody for the title next. That's just my opinion on that one. Do you have any more?
So I got two that involve Bailey, so I might as well just knock them both out.
Okay.
So going back to my in November ideas before everything kind of just stalled in WWE in terms of storyline, and I'm using that in a very loose term because there were still storylines, just not the storylines that I wanted to have happen. We have Bailey beats Io, and then Splinter's damage control.
Oh, you mean at WrestleMania?
Yeah, it can be at WrestleMania, and then a farther prediction, which I'll hit later. But Bailey beating Io. Io kind of came in and took the helm from Bailey.
Yes.
And I've been saying it for a while. Either major groups are going to splinter, or um, specifically damage control in this
Yeah.
instance. And one thing that definitely supports that is when Bailey was getting close to winning the Women's Royal Rumble, you had two different scenes where you had Rhea Ripley watching and Io Sky watching.
Yeah. I mean, it just it makes too much sense because I have the same thing. I think Bailey will take on Io Shirai in WrestleMania and win and splinter damage control, as you said. It makes too much sense, but then they might switch the plans up and just have her go after
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, mommy. So I still think Io makes too much sense. Um, I do have a few more. I don't know if you have any more predictions.
Yeah, I just have the one. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, still,
Okay.
I have Bailey going after Rhea in kind of a blood feud, and without Rhea to kind of keep everybody together, I still see
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Yes, thank
Gotcha.
you.
You got it.
And I've kind of in the book I named her Breaker of Crews, so
Oh, Bailey.
yeah.
I mean, she has that potential right now, especially with the way everything is laid out. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good one. I think that's a very big possibility. Although I do think Judgment Day is nearing its breakup point for sure.
Yeah, and it just the tension seemed there, especially for a lot of groups. I mean, you have Bloodline that's coming close to an end.
Yep.
You have Damage Control that's high on tension. You have the Judgment Day, which is high on tension.
As well, always. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's always on edge there.
Mm-hmm.
And no, not on Adam Copeland because now he's in AEW. But
exactly.
bad joke.
No, you're good. I have quite a few left, so I'm gonna try to ramble these off a little bit. So first I'm gonna go into two AEW ones. The first one is after that cage match they had. I think Daniel Garcia is set to be pushed a little bit here. He looked very good in the match after being destroyed before the match backstage, left in a bloody mess, like it was bad. He goes into the match and ends up winning it for their team. I think they're gonna push him. He's looking good. Also, one that you might be interested in is the Bullet Club Gold and Ascension. I think it was their alliance. No, the Acclaimed. Sorry, the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed, yes.
I don't know why I put Ascension. The Acclaimed alliance will break up eventually, and it'll be to unify their 6-man tag titles, like I mentioned, I think last week. I know that'll be interesting, especially because you're a fan of the Bullet Club Gold.
Oh yeah, they're pretty spicy, and it also still reinforces. Go back. I said it in November. Teams will break apart and teams will merge, and Bullet Club Gold and Acclaimed merging. That definitely helps support, and they're not WWE franchise. They're
The AEW and ROH.
yeah. But still, either way, it seems like they're kind of cleaning house.
Yeah, with factions. That's what it looks like in many places, but we will see for sure on those. I got a few more that I'm going to try to ramble off. If you want to interfere, just click on it, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Go to the 2-shot. But Braun Breaker, like I said in the Royal Rumble review, I think he's set to come to the main roster and have a great impact immediately, especially the way he destroyed quite a few people in the Rumble. A possible match to happen down the line, when, I'm not sure. But the way the last two eliminated in the Women's Royal Rumble was Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair. Tiffany was holding on to her long hair of Bianca, like literally almost hitting the floor and pulling on that braid till they were both eliminated because of that. But I think that's going to cause some tension there, obviously. Pulling on a girl's hair usually not good.
They get crazy about that stuff.
Yeah, but yes, exactly. But that'll be a great match. I think they're both very athletic. Now that Liv Morgan is back too, in that same Royal Rumble, I have a feeling that she's going to be holding the women's title sooner than later. She is very popular, as what we heard when she entered. Big pop. People love her. She's such a cutie. I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah.
She's decent in the ring, so I think that will happen. I also have Santos Escobar and Andrade El Idolo possibly having a match down the line, maybe in WrestleMania. as both of them, like I said in the Rumble, have history in another company and showed some tension here in the Rumble as well. That'll be interesting to see these two go against each other. First time I think since I want to say 2008, 2009. I may be off on the years. Um, and then finally, the way they exited the Rumble, Karrion Kross with the Authors of Pain will most likely have a match at WrestleMania versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And this could be a 6-man or 2 different matches or however they want to set it up. But I think this would be definitely a WrestleMania match for them to blow off the steam off of this rivalry. But yeah, those are some of my predictions. Do you have any more?
Uh, I'm just trying to rack my brain here. Um, maybe Logan Paul joining an official faction or starting his own official faction.
Actually, that makes sense with Austin Theory and Waller.
Yeah, they're Grayson Waller and Logan Paul are similar personalities.
Definitely.
And then you have Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory is a cocky guy, and that kind of still ties into like Logan's. And I can see them making a group and being very crude about it and calling it like the D-bags or something like that. And it's very plausible for me.
Yes, especially the way, like you said, their character or their personality, at least that they show, are very similar.
And they just showed that they have Logan's back.
Yeah, so I think so too. I think this is happening. That's very interesting for sure. But other than that, I don't have any more predictions. How about you?
Nah.
Nah. All right. Well, remember, guys, join us Wednesday as we will be having our NFL Honors Awards on who we think deserves them. We'll probably, like I said, dropping that late afternoon.
Check that out on YouTube specifically if you're here watching on Twitch.
Yep. Same name, same channel on YouTube. Also join us every Mondays and Fridays for the Joker's Wild Side Corner. But other than that, remember to take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're 2 jokers, 2 doofuses that just love to talk shop about sports, wrestling, and some entertainment, some nerdy stuff. And if you get offended by anything to say or you don't like what we gotta say, move along.
Get out of here.
Yeah, go find another show. It's fine. We will not get offended. We do not. We don't care. It's just life goes on. So move along. It's fine. Also remember to be grateful for all the stuff you have, all the good stuff you have, like your family, your friends, and be grateful for the problems you don't have. It could always be very, very bad, very ugly, like we've seen in the beginning of this year. It's been terrible. Won't go into that for sure. But other than that, I've been Lobo.
I've been Jax.
Thanks for watching Joker's Wild Side Corner.
See ya.